Hey everyone, it's Laynie. How are you guys doing today? I hope you are having a stellar day so far. Really, I do. If this is your first time at my channel, let me tell you, I upload 2 new videos every single week. Welcome to the family where we like to chit chat, get caffeinated, and talk about, of course, my favorite topic, makeup. Today we're going to talk about the relaunched Morphe palettes, Copper Spice and Bronze Mocha. If you guys want to see more about these, swatches, demo, all of that fun stuff, then just keep watching. I'm super excited that these relaunched, you guys. I did not get these the first time around because I was like, I don't need any more eyeshadow palettes, because really I don't. For me, these were the regrets. Really more the Bronze Mocha from pictures. This is the one I really wanted, and I was so sad that I missed out on it. At one point, I even Googled it on eBay to see if people were selling it, and it was so expensive. I was like, no way, And then it was like a couple months later, boom, relaunch, and you know I jumped on that. I couldn't help myself. I have a problem. And when it relaunched, I was really debating on if I should get both of them or not. But if you get one, you're paying $17.99 for one, and for both of them, you're paying, let's see here, $33.98. So I was like, there's a little bit of a savings there. I'm just gonna go for it. Get both. Go big or go home. You guys, the caffeine is setting in. I'm sorry, I'm getting weird now. I've kept it together most of the day, kept it on the DL, and now I'm getting crazy. So, what it says about these, let's see, does it really tell me anything from the Morphe website? No, not really. If you've ever been on Morphe's website, it's not super in-depth. It's a little simple. So let's open these up. I have not played with these yet because I was waiting for you guys. This is the Mocha Spice. This is the one that really intrigued me because of these colors right in here. I do love that this packaging has the clear front, so much more than their other packaging that has the black front. I love being able to see what's right in here. This is the Copper Spice. This one is very beautiful too, but I don't see myself using this except for in fall. I definitely get fall vibes when I look at this, but still very, very pretty. When I open them, one thing that really surprised me is how similar several of these browns are to the eye that could be totally different when swatched. First, I'm going to swatch these all for you. And then I'm going to apply it to the eye. So let's get to it. Starting with the Mocha Spice, I'm going to go row by row. Starting with the top row, right away I'm noticing that there is not a really light shade. That would be a nice soft brow highlight. So far, the first two are not swatching super pigmented. I do like that muted mauve color there, but again, really not super pigmented yet. Sometimes that can be a good thing though, so you don't get overly bold looks. Maybe as we work our way down, it will become more pigmented. Very pretty color here, but I am enjoying the colors of the first row. These look like satin finish to me in the first row. Second row. The second row is much more pigmented than the first. This next row I am most excited for. It's all the beautiful shimmers. Those feel buttery like a foiled eyeshadow. That's the color right there. That was the reason I bought this. The third row in this palette saves the day for any issues this palette may have. These are beautiful. Fourth row. So far, not every color is super pigmented, but the ones that are make up for it. And the last row of the Mocha Spice palette. I am really looking forward to playing with these colors. There were some swatches there that were a little patchy or not super pigmented. In some cases, I do like a little lesser pigment when it's coming to like transition shades. The colors that weren't pigmented that I thought were going to be, I'm okay with it because the pigments that were on point made up for it. Those shimmers are beautiful. Now let's do the Copper Spice palette. Starting row 1 on the left again. I am fairly fair complected, and some of those do not show up on me at all, and a couple of them are pretty chalky. The first row was not impressive, but the last palette was kind of like that too, so I think it'll get better the farther down we go. Row 2. Definitely every shade of brown you could ever need right there. Row 3. There's really a nice variety of cool tone browns and warm tone browns in this palette. And the row I've been looking forward to, the shimmers. Row 4. These shimmers again are very buttery, very pigmented, and super beautiful. Oh my gosh. Look at that color. Oh yes, that is gorgeous. These shimmers are totally beautiful, feel like a foiled eyeshadow, so buttery and really pigmented. The last row. That's a very pretty color. I really like that. And the last shade is a black, which can be hit or miss, so let's see how this goes. Oh, that's a really good black. These colors are super pretty, and the black is impressive. It's actually black, not like a smoky gray. I would say both palettes are very similar in their level of pigmentation. One doesn't really stick out from the other as far as pigmentation goes. The shimmers are great in both. The only row that didn't grab my attention in the copper palette was the first row. They were a little chalky. I will say the one thing I do wish the Mocha palette had is that I wish this was a full-on black like in the copper palette. A really good black is great to have with a smoky eye. I do still think that my first instinct was right, and I really like the Mocha palette the best, and I'm super excited to play with it. I'm going to let my camera cool down, put on my eyeshadow primer, and I'll be right back. And I put on my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm going to start by setting it with this shade here. Really work it into the transition area with my Morphe 441. Gotten so used to tapping off eyeshadows, it really makes a difference, and I do recommend it. Let me zoom you in. I feel like you guys are so far away from me. Since these don't have names, I'm sorry if you lose track of what colors I'm using. And then I'm gonna do, we're just running with it right now. I've never used this before, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go in with the second row, third shade in, this color here, Morphe 433. So far with the primer on the lid, these are like the perfect level of pigmentation. I'm actually gonna switch it up slightly into a smoky halo eye. How about that? Taking that same color, I'm now going to work it on the inner corner. I'm going to grab this warmer shade right here. I'm just going for it. Should I use that brush? No. Same brush. I'm just going to clean this brush off. We're going same brush. Picking up that shade. Again, not too much kickback on this one. And I'm going to, oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous. This one looks really pigmented. So I'm actually going to tap it on my clean towel here to knock off some of the pigmentation. I'm going to bring it into the crease. I do kind of want to deepen out the outer portion now just a little bit. So I'm going to go in with my smudge to shea brush. It doesn't tell me anything besides that. And I'm going to pick up this shade, bottom row, third in. And slightly buff it on the very outer edge of the eye. And I'm going to do the same on the inner corner. Ever so slightly. Cool. And then for the center of the lid, I'm going to pick up a shimmer. And which one do you guys think? I'm really debating between this. I don't want it to get too pink. Should I do that? That might be too dark. Let's go with the center one here. I feel like that's the most modest choice. And it's very, very buttery, but I am going to do one spritz of MAC Fix Plus to really pump it up. I'm just kind of patting it on to the lid, going up into the crease ever so slightly so I can fake a larger lid space than I really have. That's very pretty, but it's almost a little bit darker than I had hoped. So I'm going to dip into the one just before it and pat it right on top. I really like how that has turned out. I do have a little fallout here, so I'm just going to dust that off. And then for the final touch, I'm going to highlight the brow and inner corner. There's not really an excellent inner corner highlight in here. That is the one sad thing. I wish there was like a really bright, satiny, like white or champagne, something that would really pop on the inner corner. I'm going to pick up the lightest shade in here, which is not that light, and see how it works as a brow highlight. I'm a little nervous because it's not super light. But that does look pretty. This purple color looks so pretty. Should I do it? Should I do it? That might not be a good choice for today. So I think I'm actually going to try to take this shimmer shade here, 4th row down, 2nd color in, and see what that looks like. Very pigmented there. Cleaning off my brush, I'm going to pick up this kind of peachy shade here and just buff that out a little bit. I honestly really love how this look turned out. They just blended out so nicely, and I think all the colors play really, really well together. I really hope you guys enjoyed this first impression video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would love, like so love, for you to be a part of my YouTube family, really. We have a good time here, I promise. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Definitely on Snapchat. I'm pretty good at using the filters. Actually, not really, but kind of. Sometimes. Depends on the day. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.